Hello, Erica here today. I am here with another video. Are you tired of my face yet, Miss April? I don't know. Today I am doing my favorite underhyped reads. Underhyped for me, for the purposes of this video, means that they are not talked about very much on BookTube. It doesn't mean that they haven't won prizes or what have you, but that I don't hear many people talking about them, hardly ever. So, let's get started. I have 4 books to show you today, and the first is The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. This was originally published in 1990. This is a war novel. I'm not huge into war novels, but I really, really love this. It's about the Vietnam War, and it's told through a series of stories, interconnected stories, about the men who served in Vietnam and their life in Vietnam, but also their life when they returned to America. The writing in this book is absolutely haunting. The first story in this book is called The Things They Carried, and it really sets the tone for the rest of the novel. And it's just a list of the things that the soldiers carried with them, be them emotional or physical. And I'll read you just a little bit, because I like to do that. For the most part, they carried themselves with poise, a kind of dignity. Now and then, however, there were times of panic when they squealed or wanted to squeal but couldn't. When they twitched and made moaning sounds and covered their heads and said, "Dear Jesus," and flopped around on the earth and fired their weapons blindly and cringed and sobbed and begged for the noise to stop and went wild and made stupid promises to themselves and to God and to their mothers and fathers, hoping not to die. That's on the first few pages of the book, and if that doesn't set the tone for this book, I don't know what does. Next, I have a book that I talked about in my favorite reads of 2014 video. That is Fall on Your Knees by Anne-Marie Macdonald. Despite this being an Oprah's book club pick, I hardly ever meet anyone or have talked to anyone or have seen anybody who has read this. So, this is a family saga. It follows a family for about 3 generations, and they live on a tiny island off the coast of Canada. And it focuses specifically on 4 daughters and how different all of their personalities are and how different all of their experiences are. This book ripped my heart out. There are a couple of scenes in this book of sexual violence, so trigger warning there. But it is a really, really beautiful piece of Canadian fiction that I do not think gets enough attention. Next, I have another piece of CanLit. This is Cereus Blooms at Night by Shani Mootoo. This is Mootoo's first novel, and it was published in 1996. It is the story of an old woman's life told through the eyes of one of her caretakers. And it's a story of her life growing up in an island that is kind of left ambiguous, but is apparently supposed to be modeled after Trinidad. So it's also oftentimes considered a piece of Caribbean literature. And this was really beautiful. I actually want to reread this soon. Again, though, there are some moments of sexual violence in the story, so I would avoid it if you do not like that type of thing. Not that anyone likes that type of thing, but you know what I mean. And Mootoo explores all kinds of themes in this novel. There's so much going on, what with violence and gender roles and sexuality, and it's just really incredible, and I cannot wait to read more of her. So I highly recommend this, especially if you are looking to familiarize yourself more with Caribbean literature, perhaps, which is a regional literature that I don't feel like is discussed very often. Next, I have The Orphan Master's Son by Adam Johnson. This actually won the Pulitzer in 2013. It was published in 2012. This is a story about North Korea. I know North Korea fascinates a lot of people, mostly because it's so taboo and we don't know a lot about what's going on over there. Adam Johnson himself has traveled to North Korea, so a lot of this was constructed through his interpretation of events over there, and it's a really heart-shattering tale about a North Korean man and his quest for love and his quest to raise himself up above his station. The writing is impeccable, as in most Pulitzer winners, and This gave me so much to think about. It's kind of a bizarre book, but it's focused on a region of the world that you don't see represented so much in literature. And again, very stunning, and I never hear anybody talk about it, especially for being a Pulitzer winner. So yes, those are 4 of my favorite books that don't get enough attention. If you have any suggestions of books that I should read that you think are underhyped, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you all soon.